Today, Sunday, the 30th of March 2025, we have some hand-picked match prediction to share with you, which of course will be backed up by some stat and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to our hand-pick event, which we share to members only, with a high win rate, as well as our top match prediction tutorial classes to take your winning to the next height, then you want to make sure to join the Level 2 Pro plan or the Level 3 Master plan to have access to these features to take your winning to the next level. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video description. So without wasting time, I'm going to begin with the first event of our today's pick. But before we proceed, I wish to say congratulations based on the event for all of this week and yesterday's event, for we have registered wins. And of course, I will not want to go to share all the results with you, for it is going to take us a lot of time and I don't want this video to be very long. So I will just cut it short. I will not go to reveal all the events we had yesterday, for we registered wins, and I will just proceed with the games of today. But before we proceed, of course, I have a quick announcement to make. If you come here to the front page of our channel here in the section labeled as home, you're going to see that we provide match predictions to our members only. You can see this is members only video, and we have games we have handpicked and shared to members only, like our upcoming events. For example, this one, 20 plus games we have just shared, and goals, match prediction picks, games in terms of corner kicks, and there are a mix, and we provide the best hand pick to members only to take advantage of the huge odds to take their winning to the next high. For you to access this feature, then you want to make sure to join the Level 2 Pro plan or the Level 3 Master plan to have access to a hand pick event like this to take your winning to the next level. Also, if you become a member, like for example, the Level 2 Pro plan, you also have additional bonus by having classes, the Level 2 Pro classes. Once you're a member of the Level 2 Pro, you also have Level 2 Pro classes, and this will give you access to the live match corner kick strategy we have revealed. The simple trick to make consistent win, the never seen prediction strategy that will amaze you, straight win and comeback strategy that you have not seen before, the tactical straight win 2.5 goal strategy that will amaze you, followed by 99% win rate strategy you can use with the event we share with you. Of course, once you become a member of the Level 2 Pro, you also have access to all of these top-notch video tutorial classes in one place. The link will be found below this video, so that once you subscribe as a member of the Level 2 Pro, you can watch all of these video tutorials in one place and start to apply the techniques and take your winning to the next level. But if you're a member of the Level 3 Master, you're going to have access to the Level 3 Master classes as well, and this will reveal even top-notch tutorial classes like the excellent corner kick strategy we have revealed, the top secret AI tool we use to find games in terms of goal probability and straight wins, the game changer corner kick strategy that revealed the top secret website we use and how we find games in terms of corner kick to include in your sleep, followed by the 6 amazing AI tool we use, the home and away win match prediction strategy step by step, and 2.5 goal strategy you can use to beat the bookies and win even more. So once you're a member of the Level 3 Master, you're going to have access to all of these top-notch video tutorial classes in one place and become a master and start to take your winning to the next level. So that being said, without wasting time, let's begin with the first game of our today's pick. Looking at the first event, we are looking at Austria in the second league. We are looking at a match between First Vienna against Hahn in this event. The performance of First Vienna in the recent game they have had in the EROS itself have proved that they are very good. That is the second league. They had game with stripping 3-1. They score huge number of goals. And also the recent game they have had recently this same year in the CF, that is in the club friendly, have proved to be very offensive, scoring 3 goals, 2 goals, and 7 goals in each event recently. Of course, the opponent also, on the other hand, have proved to have a high striking rate, especially in the CF itself, where they score huge number of goals, like 5 goals, 3 goals, and 4 goals, 5 goals recently. Looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent gameplay they have had by the form, of course, the home team, First Vienna, have proved that they sit here in the third place with a high offensive strength. Having played 5 events, they have had 4 leads at home, scoring 10 and conceding 3. That's a good offense and defense. Looking at that of its opponent, the other hand, have proved that they sit here in the 16th position. They sit right here in the last position. They have played 5 games and they have had no wins, conceding up to 16 goals. Of course, the recent performance in this particular event game played in the second league itself proved that Hahn have a defensive line that is very conceding. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, both of the two sides in the club friendly have proved very offensive in goal scoring. As a result, we want to look at the fact that since they have proved to be very conceding, based on the conceding goals they have had recently, we want to look at least the probability of 1.5 goal to occur in this event in full time or 2 goals over. So we're looking at goals probability as the best option for this gameplay. Looking at the next, we are looking at Slovakia in the third league west. We are looking at Raca against Krasno in this event. The home team, Raca, have proved to be very good in recent events they have had. 1 goal, 2 goals recently in the third Liga itself. And you can see as well 3 goals. That of its opponent, on the other hand, have proved that the defensive line is just very weak, conceding very huge number of goals, conceding 2, conceding 4, conceding 2. And looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had, the performance of the home, as you can see, based on the home game played, have proved that the performance of the home team here sit on the second place. They have had 5 game play with 4 lead, scoring 7 and conceding 2. They are very, very defensive. But that of the away, in terms of the recent gameplay they have had by the performances of the away, have proved that they sit right here in the 16th place with a very high conceding power. They have conceded 13 goals in just 5 game play, making the home to have an advantage or upper hand to either lead as one of the major picks. And we are looking at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, the home have proved to be very, very defensive. But that of the away is not good in defense. And we are looking at the home to be the upper hand to lead as one of the major pick or to give it a double chance. This is our major pick for this particular event. The home to lead or to look at a double chance for the home team. In the next, we looked at Poland in the third league, Group 1. We are looking at Liga playing with Saul, Aleksandro. In this event, the performance of Liga have proved to be very offensive in the third league itself, where they score a huge number of goals, 6-3 in the recent game they have had in the third Liga itself this same year. Its opponent, on the other hand, Saul, have proved to concede very much with a very weak defensive line, conceding 3 and conceding 6 in the recent event they have just had. Looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent gameplay they have had, comparing and looking at the form, the home team Liga have proved to be very offensive here, sitting on the first place. They've had 5 games at home, all the 5 lead, scoring 15 goals and conceding 6. That's a very great offense. And of course, looking at its opponent, on the other hand, the defensive line is not that tough, and it cannot withstand the very high offense of the home, making that is conceding a lot number of goals, 12 goals conceded in just 5 game play. The home will therefore want to take advantage of the weak defense of the away with a high striking rate to try to lead as one of the major picks as well as goal probability. So want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, everything being put in place, we are looking at the home to lead as one of the major picks, as well as the possibility of 1.5 goal in full time or 2.5 goals in full time is our major pick for this particular gameplay event. Looking at the next, we looked at England in the Women's Super League. We are looking at Manchester United Women against Everton Women. In this event, the performance of the home Manchester United Women have proved to be very offensive in the recent event they have had, especially in the FAC and also in the Super League Women itself, where they score very huge amount of goals like 2, 3, and 3 in the recent gameplay they have had. Everton Women, on the other hand, proved to concede very much in the SL itself, where they concede 2, 4 goals and 2 against Chelsea and also against West Ham, where they concede huge number of goals. Looking at Manchester United, the home team have proved to be very good in the recent game they have had, and looking at the stand performance, comparing the form by the home and the away, the home team, Manchester United, have proved here that they sit on the 3rd place with a very high scoring capacity. They've had 4 leads, scoring 12 and conceding 1. That's a great offense and great defense. That of Everton, on the other hand, by the way game played, have proved that the defensive line is not very tight. Therefore, look at least goal probability here. We'll look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular gameplay, of course, we are expecting at least the probability of 1.5 goal in full time, everything being put in place. So 1.5 goal is our major pick for this particular event in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Germany in the regional Liga Southwest. We are looking at Frankfurt playing with 2 kickers in this event. Frankfurt have proved to be very offensive in the recent event they've had, scoring 5, scoring 2, scoring 1, scoring 4 also in the club friendly. They are very good. Looking at Stutt kickers, on the other hand, the defensive line is very weak, allowing the home to have advantage of this weak defensive line, where they concede 2, conceding 3, conceding 2, even in the club friendly, where they concede huge number of goals. Of course, looking at the stand performance in the recent gameplay they've had by the form of the home have proved to lead. That is the home, which is Frankfurt, have proved here that they sit on the 7th place. The striking power, 10 goals scored and 5 conceded, is a good offensive line, and they have had 3 leads, especially at home. But that of the away team, by home, they are very good, but based on the way the defensive line, as you can see here, based on the way they sit right here in the 6th position, with the defense that is not very tight. And of course, since the strike power of the away also proved that they are good, not that very bad, 2 of the side, of course, shoot on and off target to be great. As a result, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, both of the 2 sides have proved to show high striking power. And in this gameplay, there will be more shoot on and off target. At least we're expecting 1.5 or 2 goals over in this event in full time. Looking at the next here, we'll look at Germany in the Oberliga North-South. Here we are looking at RSV Eintracht against Eintracht Rudolstadt. In this event, the performance of the home in the recent gameplay they have proved to be very offensive in the recent event they have had, especially in the Oberliga North-South itself, scoring high amount of goals, 3 and 4, and also in the club friendly where they proved to be very offensive with high goal scoring capacity. In events or opponent, on the other hand, have proved to also concede that very much, giving the advantage of shoot on target by the home to be high, causing goals occurrence. The stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had by the home have proved that based on the form of the home, they prove that they are good in the striking strength. And looking at this, the number of the events of goals they have had in tranche, which is the home, have proved to lead this table, sitting on the 1st place. As you can see here, they've had 11 games played, recently 9 wins, scoring 28 and conceding 5. That's a very high striking power. And looking at the fact in terms of the form, let's look at the form here and look at the home form of the home itself. We're going to see that based on the home form, the home team lead this table for 5 games played. Recently, they've had all the 5 lead, scoring 15 and conceding 1. That's a very high offense and great defense. But that of the opponent, on the other hand, in terms of the recent event they've had, have proved to sit right here, as you can see, in the 13th position with a weak defensive line, conceding 9 goals in 5 games played, giving advantage of the home with a very high strike power to take advantage of this weak defensive line. As a result, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, everything being put in place by the explanation, we are looking at the home to lead as one of the major picks, as well as the possibility of 1.5 going full time or 2 goals over. These are our major pick for this particular event. Looking at the next, we looked at Portugal in the Under-19 Championship. We're looking at Benfica U19 against Tondela. In this event, the performance of the home Benfica have proved to be very offensive in the recent event they've had, scoring 2, 2, 5, and 3. Very high offensive strength, scoring even 6. That of Tondela, on the other hand, concede very much with a weak defensive line, giving advantage for the home to lead as one of the major picks. Looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had by the home Benfica have proved to sit on the 2nd place. They have just had 2 games played at home, 4 scored goals and 2 conceded. Tondela, on the other hand, in terms of the recent event they have had by the way, the defense is not very tight. They have conceded 5 goals in 2 games played, and they have not had any lead. And looking at this, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, the home, of course, is more offensive, and since the defensive line of the way is not tough, we look at least the possibility of 1.5 goal here in full time or 2 goals over, as well as the home to lead. These are our major pick for this particular event in full time. In the next, we looked at Bulgaria in the Prva Liga. We are looking at Levski Sofia with Botev Plodiv. In this event, Levski have proved to score very much high amount of goals, 3, 2, 2, 3 in the recent gameplay they've had. Botev, on the other hand, proved to concede very much. The defensive line is not strong. And looking at the stands performance in terms of the recent events they've had, the form of the home, Levski have proved here to be very offensive, sitting on the 2nd place. They've had 5 games played with 4 lead, scoring 11 and conceding 5. That's a high offense and good defense. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, have proved that the defensive line is not very tough. They sit on the 13th place, conceding 8 goals in 5 games played, prove that the defense is weak. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, everything being put in place, we are looking at the home to be the upper hand, to lead as one of the major picks, as well as at least the possibility of 1.5 goals in full time. And to those of you who want to have access to more games, as well as hand-pick event for goals probability, corner kick events with huge odds as we share to members only, then you want to make sure to join the membership package plan, either level 2 Pro or level 3 Master, to have access to more odds to take your winning to the next level, and as well as having access to our top-notch tutorial classes to prepare you to take your winning to the next height. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.